Manchester United have sacked Ruben Amorim. Darren Fletcher will take temporary charge. We're going to have loads of reactions to this, including right now with Manchester United supporter Flex. OK, Flex, how are you feeling about this?
Not really shocked in terms of what Ruben Amorim had to say for himself in yesterday's press conference and the one prior to that against Wolves. But the feeling that I have now, which has been like that for a little while, is that it's a total mess at Old Trafford. Both of these two parties are completely culpable in what's happened. People sort of pleading for Ruben Amorim that he's some sort of been hard done by and this is really sad on him. No, it's not. He's had a terrible record at Manchester United. And if anything, he's lucky to still be in the job with the level of support that he's had. Conversely, I see his point. If he's been made promises by an incompetent set of people who don't have a clue what they're doing, who have basically come into the football club, backed Eric Ten Hag, then sacked him and wasted money, fought for Daniel Ashworth, then sacked him after a few weeks in the job, and now bring in a guy who you know plays 3-4-3, and then he's now saying, I want more control, and you know that's what he wants, and now you're butting against him, and then try to frame it to United fans like you're sacking him because of results. No, they're not. Manchester United haven't just sacked Ruben Amorim because of results. We're 3 points off the top four, and we're joint fifth. We're in the run for Europe. They've sacked him because they've promised him things and not delivered upon it. But at the same time, we as fans should not lap up this sort of sentiment that actually, oh, Ruben's really hard done by. Ruben could have been sacked in the summer for losing to Spurs. Ruben could have been sacked for finishing 15th. He was given £200 million in the summer to get a whole new front line. We've got 2 wins in 11 games. So the form is not good. It's just a poor league, and we're not far off where we are in the league, and we're as closer to the third place team as we are to the 15th place team. So I just think it leaves us in a really difficult position. And my biggest situation now is I don't trust Ineos to make positive, correct decisions for the next bit of our football club, because there've been a lot of lies, there've been a lot of PR. Last time we heard from Sir Jim Ratcliffe during the international break, he said, I need to give this manager 3 years. That's what I need to do. And I came on this very show and said, we kind of needs to earn that. You can't just give it to him as a default. You still need to show things along the way. They've said loads of things that just haven't transpired into truth. They've led Manchester United fans down the garden path, and there needs to be clarity now.
Flex, I'm so glad you've said that, because I was literally discussing this with Tom. Everyone's digging out Ruben Amorim, and we know he ain't been good enough. Results ain't been good enough. Football's not been good enough. Philosophy's not been good enough. All that. But I'm so glad you've come on and said that, because the ball ain't been good enough either. They've been miles off it since the Ten Hag thing, since the Dan Ashworth thing, and you're absolutely right. You know, we can sit here and say, oh, they've acted quickly. He's come out and dug the ball out, and we sack him, and we go, that's not good enough. Man United are in. Well, hold on a minute. It wasn't long ago that, you know, he was on here, Ratcliffe, talking about he's going to have 3 years and this is out this and we're going to do that. And next minute he's sacked. So I'm so glad you come on and said that, Flex, because I think it's very easy to sit here and say Ruben Amorim's not good enough manager, and he ain't. But this is on the board as well.
Both things are true. And this is the thing where I think because we're emotional and we have to start again now and what are we going to do? It's very difficult to comprehend and to basically talk about this without these nuances of both sides. It's very difficult to do that because we're emotionally charged. And it does have this feeling like, do you know what? We're finished. We're finished. Like, yes, you remove the manager who's clearly not good enough, but then you look at the people who have to be in charge of taking you to war. They're the captains. They're the commanders saying, right, guys, let's get together and let's do this together. And you're going, I don't trust them one bit. Look at the decisions that they've been making. It's been poor. And then you know this manager, Ruben Amorim, talking about, look, he said, I'm the manager. I've come here to be the manager, even though his title is head coach. But what he actually means by that in context is, what I've agreed here with these guys is I want to be overseeing things. There's quotes from Jason Wilcox saying, we believe in Ruben's vision. His system is more tactically flexible than people give it time for. We want to get all the pieces for him. You've given us all this lip service. And then since the Antoine Semenyo deal didn't go through, something's gone wrong, and then he's thrown his toys out the pram, and
Flex,
Ruben
really
has backed them into a corner.
Flex, we appreciate that. The question now is, who do you want to replace Amorim?
This is a tough one, because one, you have to look at the constraints of what that manager has to operate under. We just seen what happened at Chelsea and the reason why Enzo Maresca has left. This seems like something similar. I know we're different in how we recruit players to Chelsea. That's a whole different situation. But in terms of how they view their manager and where he sits at the table, it seems to me like Ineos are trying to do something similar. And that would suggest to me that big dogs won't go there. You know, people with big say, big power, big personalities, they don't want to be governed, like what Jamie was saying, by someone knocking on their door saying, you must do this, you must do that. So Ineos need to select somebody who aligns with how they want to play, with what Manchester United is all about. If that's attacking football, free-flowing football with wingers and getting fans off their seats, which is what we want to see, which is what we've seen in the past, then you need to recruit somebody who reflects that. The names that are going to be on the list come the end of the season, which is probably why they're looking for an interim basis, are going to be people that are finishing maybe at the World Cup. You maybe look at Nagelsmann, you look at maybe Thomas Tuchel, you look to see what's going on. Maybe Xabi Alonso could become available. Pochettino's going to be available. Exactly. All these types of names. Oliver Glasner at the end of the season. I know he's not signing with Crystal Palace, but he plays a 3-4-3. By his own admittance, he's happy to adapt. He's just saying that's what I've got to do now. But would he do that? Exactly. Who knows? So what I don't trust Ineos to do is, could we see another Ollie situation? Am I sure as a United fan that Darren Fletcher doesn't set the world alight, do really well to the end of the season, and they go, I tell you what, Darren Fletcher's all right here. We could go down that route.
I don't know.
Exactly. I hope not, Jamie. But right now, anything's on the table because Ineos tell us one thing and do another.
Flex,
so I don't actually have a clue who next.
Flex, what do you make of the Jason Wilcox situation with Amorim? We've heard about the meeting that they sat down on a Friday, talked tactics, and he said he was emotionally, immature. What do you make of that? Because for me, as sporting director, I know you've got to be in line with what the club wants to do and what the manager, what he sees, for the future of the club. But I don't know if Jason Wilcox should be sat there talking tactics and telling Ruben Amorim that you should be adaptable.
I think the problem what you've got is when you're a manager at Man United and you're losing as many games as Ruben Amorim has, and you've got opposition players and coaches and just fans like me who don't have a UEFA A license going, mate, I play Sunday League football, mate. This system's poor. Like, you're getting outdone, and they're explaining how they done it.
Yeah,
I think you're gonna go into work on Monday and have a sit down with that manager and say, mate, don't you think you should probably mix it up a little bit? We're getting found out a little bit here, aren't we? And if you've got someone as stuck to his principles as Ruben Amorim, who you understood what he's like, you're gonna get this. A few months ago, Jamie, like, Amorim and Jason Wilcox were laughing and chilling at a train station, in great discussion. Amorim, he's singing his praises. So that's what I mean. They understood the type of character. That's where I do sympathise with Ruben. The man is the man. You know what you signed up for.
Yeah.
You co-signed this, and you wanted this for our football club, and you backed this. And it's got to a point where you basically haven't... Now the briefings are all coming out. It's all going to come out now, like it did with Chelsea. Oh, Ruben knew that we was going to get free attackers. He was happy with that. Oh, he knew we weren't going to get Antoine Semenyo. He was happy with that. So it's on him. That doesn't wash with me. This is joint enterprise. This is everybody was part of this. And Ruben himself, like I said, he can't be painted as this martyr who's speaking up against the establishment and he's happy to risk his job for the better of the... That's not what's happened here. He's had a poor record. And if anything, the same board that he's fallen out with is the same one that stood by him, is the same one that gave him the benefit of the doubt after Chelsea, after Spurs, gave him the benefit of the doubt after finishing 15th, gave him 200 million quid in the summer, didn't press the panic button when you lost against Grimsby. They didn't do that. They did stick by you. So you do have to understand that you don't have enough credit in the bank to be coming out all guns blazing in this way. But at the same time, Ineos, they've shown an extreme level of incompetence for the major decisions. Have they improved the recruitment? Yes, they have. Because actually what we've done is, if we've bought players that, regardless of 3-4-3, Cunha's just a good player. And Mbumo's just a good player. Yeah. Lenny Yoro's adaptable. De Ligt's adaptable. They've bought some good players. Aiden Heaven for 1.5 million. Well done. That's good. But where they failed is the big decisions. Do we stick or twist with Erik ten Hag? Everybody knew they wanted to sack him, gave in to fan pressure. Then they sacked him 4 months later on after spending money on him. They get Ruben Amorim in. They back him, doesn't work. Get Dan Ashworth in, get him, doesn't work. It's showing that they don't know what they're doing and they're learning on the job as well. Omar Barada hasn't got experience of being a CEO. Jason Wilcox's biggest achievement was a short stint at Southampton at this level. Before that, he was working at youth level and doing a good job of it at Manchester City. So to walk into Manchester United in my opinion, as a biased Man United fan, the biggest club in the world, and say, here's how we're going to do things. We've got those guys learning on the job as well as Amorim. And that is why we've got these little tiffs and all of these breakdowns in communication. And now I'm super worried about where they go from here, because they haven't filled me. I'll speak for myself, can't speak for the whole fan base. They haven't filled me with any sort of confidence that they're going to make the right decisions from here.
Right, OK.